What's up, everybody? It's me, Kiyoshi, and I'm here with some news. And it all depends on how you guys take it, really. Some of you might be mad, some of you might be sad, some of you might be okay with it, and some might just be downright confused. And that's 100% understandable. So, as you guys have probably noticed already, I've taken yet another little bit of a hiatus. I'm not keeping up with the schedule as good as what I should be doing. And for that, I want to apologize. Um, so I've come here with an explanation, not an excuse, but an explanation for why I've been gone. Um, and it's kind of not easy to say, but at the same time, I hope when I say it, you guys understand. But first, I want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory. So, back when I was a freshman in high school, before even that, like just before I was going to into high school, my dad started bleeding internally, and the doctors couldn't find out what was wrong with him. Well, long story short, in that they did some more research. They took out his gallbladder, and they found out that he had an acute MDS, which is a beginning stage leukemia. Now, hearing that once you're, I don't know, I think I was like 15 years old, freshly going into high school, it killed me. But at the same time, I was confused. I don't know what leukemia is until I heard that it was a type of cancer, and then I got really sad about it. I mean, I was sad about it either way. My dad was sick, um, and they gave him two options. Option one, he can refuse treatment and last maybe about a year or two, maybe even less, or he can take the treatment and live for another 20. And so, as any simple-minded human being would do, is just take the treatment. And so he did. For 2 years, my dad stayed in the hospital, going back and forth to appointments, and not only that, just staying on the ninth floor at this hospital. The hospital is WVU Medical Center, by the way. It's in Morgantown, West Virginia. One of the best cancer treatment places I've ever seen in my entire life. Um, but yeah, so I couldn't see him for a while. I had to stay with my aunt, and I had to stay with my grandfather as well. We had to switch, me and my sister both had to switch in between houses. And at the time, you really never notice how hard it is until you start looking back at it. So you got to think, my freshman year of high school, I'm like, what do I do? You know? So for me, starting in a new school where I know maybe 10 people out of like 200, maybe even more, and then knowing that my dad's in a hospital and has cancer, and I'm going to another family's house, it's just, well, I mean, it's not another family, it's my family, but it's just we didn't know them that well. But well, I didn't know them that well. My parents did. So it was really confusing for me, and I could only imagine what it did to my sister. But little 15-year-old me thought, now is the time to start manning up. So I grew up. Um, and it's really hard, you know. I mean, I don't know who else has had to fight something like that before, but it's definitely tough. So he ended up getting the treatment and it all worked out. So what they had to do to give him a bone marrow transplant, they had to find a donor, right, with the matching blood type that he has. And the donor almost backed out, but he continued to go with it anyways, for some odd reason. What they do is they kill your blood cells, your white blood cells, till you have two healthy ones. And so they did that. Now, I don't know if any of you, maybe not even, know my father, but my father was a really, really strong guy. You know, he was ripped. He had muscles on muscles. But whenever he started taking that chemo, it was killing him. It was killing the blood cells. It was killing the cancer cells. So, uh, I went to go visit my dad, and I was so distraught to see him the way he was. He was maybe about 150 pounds, skin and bones, no hair on his body. And I'm just looking at him like, who's this guy? You know, of course I gave him a hug and stuff, but I'm just studying my father. And I'm like, this isn't, this doesn't look like my dad, you know? So he took the treatment, like I said, and they sucked out they killed all the blood cells except for two. Two white blood cells needed to stay in his body so that way his body could still function. And then they gave him the bone marrow transplant actually on my birthday, on the day of the 27th of November. I turned 16 and my father was reborn. And I gotta say that was the best. I ain't even monetized, so I don't give a shit what anyone says. I don't care about any other birthday present. That there was the best birthday present I have ever received in my entire life. So years later, my dad ends up not having to go to the hospital anymore. They thought that they found a cure, found a way to treat leukemia or the beginning stages of leukemia, MDS, until a month ago. A month ago, my dad started feeling weak. He started feeling sick. He started getting nosebleeds. And he just felt tired all the time. Until me and my mother and my sister, we all had to gather up on him and say, "You're going to the hospital. You got to get checked out." And so we went to Wheeling Hospital, and they said that his blood count was at a six. So they were surprised he even walked in the door without passing out or going into cardiac arrest. So took him to WVU, and for a long time, I waited eagerly. What felt like a long time for me was only maybe about a couple of days. It felt like years to me. I'm eagerly waiting to see if I have to prepare again. And so one day, Ashley, my girlfriend, came home from work on her break, and she came through my door, my gaming room, and I thought she was upset with me, but you know, maybe I didn't answer my phone, but it wasn't that this time. She looked at me and she said, "The cancer's back, and it's worse." And hearing that, I felt everything from the top of my head swim down into my heart and just shatter. So I called my mom because she told me, my girlfriend told me, you got to call your mom to see what's next. So I did. I called her and she said, there's two choices again. These choices were way worse. He could either take the treatment and live for maybe a year, or he can refuse the treatment and last a week. So what happened was the two white blood cells that were in his body were supposed to be healthy, but one of them was not. It was a cancer cell and it stayed dormant for 7 years until this year. And it started eating at him and it started attacking his body way worse. But he took his treatment. He's taking his treatment right now as we speak. Today I finally got a day off from work, so every day that I have free time, I try to make sure I go over and I see him. So for the past couple months, maybe for the past couple weeks even, I have been so perplexed with not only just my job. I know you guys might be saying it's not hard. Well, it's a little hard when I don't get paid from said job, you know, and I have to fight battles with a company to get paid. One man against a multi-billion-dollar company. It's a lot harder than you think, trust me. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop YouTubing. I'm not going to stop pursuing the things that I love to do because this is what I wanted to do. This is ever since I was a kid watching Markiplier back in 2013, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, all these guys. They had so much fun with it, and I loved watching it. And so I gave it a shot, and I loved it. It's a passion of mine, and I'm going to keep pursuing it. Right now, I understand my schedule is out of whack. Like, there's no set day as to where I post on this day. I post at this time. No, it is, I get up and I feel like making a video. I find the game just off itch.io or anywhere else, even hell, even Steam. I play it, I record me reacting to it, I give my feedback, and I post it right after I'm done editing it too. It's a lot of work going into something like this. And it's a lot stressful when you have your biggest hero dying. You're facing a multi-billion-dollar company solo. I'm not mad. I'm just so stressed out, and I want you guys to understand why I've been taking hiatuses, especially as of recent. Now I care and I love about each and every single one of you guys. And I don't want you guys to leave. I've already lost enough of you. And I know that it's not your fault that you're leaving, it's mine. And I respect that. But this is just messages for those who have stayed and those who have gained. If you want to stay, please do. Please stay. If you want to leave and go watch other creators, that's okay. I'm okay with that. On another note, speaking about that instead of cancer and stuff like that, um, I watched a documentary about doing stuff like this, streaming and everything like that. And it's a lot harder than what a lot of people think. Because let's take me, for instance, I do Let's Plays. I play horror games, Friday Night Funkin', stuff like that, right? There's thousands of channels out there that do that already that have a bigger following than I do. So I don't get a lot of watch time because those guys are, I'm not saying they're taking it, but they're getting it. No one's gonna watch me react to a horror game or play a horror game, I should say, and with the quality that I have compared to, let's say, Markiplier or anyone for that instance. I mean, I'm not gonna accept my losses, don't get me wrong, and I'm not gonna quit, but it's definitely gonna be a journey. And as of right now, I won't be able to make a lot of videos. I'm going to certainly try to. As of like even today, I'm going to be taking this video, I'm going to edit it, and then I'm also going to make another video on continuing the Friday Night Funkin' Doki Doki Literature Club mod, which I am pretty excited to try to finish up by today. Just know that I love each and every single one of you, and I'm very, very proud of each and every one of you. And I'm so happy that you guys have stayed here. And I'm sorry that I've let you down. Just please understand, under the circumstances that I am fighting with, I can't be there all the time. And I want to. I really do. And I'm not lying either. Any chance that I got in my busy, busy schedule, I will make sure I spend with you guys, okay? So, it's pretty much all I have. But for now, I hope you guys stay safe out there. And I will see you in the next video. Stay safe.